A symphony of generators and classic rock covers filled the soundscape of downtown Corydon. Closed road signs and orange barriers lead to street vendors, crafty folks, and packed picnic tables. Crowds are clad with strollers, sunburnt buddies, and a bling-adorned queen. It's a pretty good turnout for a young festival laden with looming dark clouds and potential tornado warnings. Harrison County held its second year of its Reborn Popcorn Festival the weekend of June 30th. The festival was something of a faded memory for many residents, having dissolved a few decades prior. County officials like Jeremy Yakeley wanted to revamp it because popcorn is such a significant part of its farming base. One of the festival's goals was to combine the county's business sector in a family-friendly event to create a new local tradition. This is a special episode of Inside Indiana Business Radio. I'm Cate Charron.
I've lived in Corydon now in Harrison County for about 17 years, just a little over. Way before my time here, there was the Popcorn Festival, Harrison County Popcorn Festival, downtown on the square in downtown Corydon by the First State Capitol. Dissolved, went away, whatever reason, right? So a few years ago, some folks that had fond memories of that decided to let's explore getting this going again.
This is Jeremy Yakeley, the Harrison County Convention and Visitors Bureau Executive Director and a festival board member.
And last year, 2022, was the first year of kind of what I'm going to call the revamped Popcorn Festival. Obviously, Harrison County popcorn is a huge part of our farming community.
Summer after summer, dozens of small towns and counties throughout Indiana intrigue thousands of visitors to indulge in communal festivals, buy local, and check out new areas. Festivals funnel people into shrinking downtowns and put extra eyes onto the product that is the local county, especially after the economic shock of the pandemic. These festivals can be reflective of a local economy, like Harrison County's Popcorn Festival, which celebrates a product the county exports 20 million pounds of each year, as well as Mitchell's Persimmon Festival, falling during harvest season for the prolific Hoosier native fruit. Others use a food product just as an orchestrator of a county event that isn't necessarily tied to its business makeup. Though none of its beholden fruits are native to the state, Crawfordsville's Strawberry Festival, Marshall County's Blueberry Festival, and Jackson County's Watermelon Festival are each economic drivers for local vendors in the county to see more visitors and treat their residents. Brian Churchill is Preferred Popcorn Indiana's operations manager and is also a festival committee member. He said the interest in rebooting the festival was a fantastic way to celebrate the industry and get the greater community involved.
But what we're here to celebrate is that in our county alone, there are 20 different family farm operations that grow popcorn for us. And that's over 20 million pounds of popcorn that we produce right here. As a company out of our plant, we ship 90 million pounds of popcorn, which is a lot. Yeah. That's more than 5 million servings per day, 365 days a year. So it's a tremendous amount of popcorn. And between the two companies, Ramsey Popcorn and Preferred Popcorn, we do over 10% of all the popcorn that's produced in the U.S. So it's that's what popcorn's a big thing here. There's over 100 employees that's involved in producing popcorn, plus all the farm operations. And so that's what we're here to celebrate, is just give some appreciation for all the people that's involved in it.
Churchill estimated a $15 to $20 million direct impact just from the popcorn industry on the county. Further north, one of the biggest events in Montgomery County is Crawfordsville's Strawberry Festival, which just celebrated its 50th running in its modern-day era, June 9th through 11th. It was a breakthrough year after the pandemic, where organizers finally felt like crowds and vendors were back, especially after expanding its offering for the Jubilee celebration.
My name is Dave Long, and I am the Crawfordsville Strawberry Festival chairman. I've been doing that for about 5 years now. And I got involved in 1996. I think I attended a meeting, and I was going to help out for 1 year. And somehow that's extended on a little bit beyond that point. And as I mentioned, we're going to be celebrating our 50th anniversary next year, and it's turned into quite a bit of a local event, we're glad to say.
Since its organization half a century ago, the festival has progressed into a significant communal event, building upon itself each year. The Strawberry Festival never had a solid way of counting guest numbers, but has recently contracted with a company to calculate that data. While this year's numbers are not available yet, Long said the 2022 festival saw 13,000 people, which is nearly double what organizers would have guessed.
The event is probably the largest festival-type activity we have in Montgomery County. We've got a population of about 36,000 in the county and about 15,000 here in the city itself. And like I said, it's evolved over the years. We've tried to expand it a little bit and make it a little bit more, how should I say, attractive to a larger group of individuals. We try to have a festival that's safe and family friendly. There's something for everybody, and it's just a way for a lot of folks to kind of go back to what they remember in the rural areas as a small town event where everybody kind of knows everybody, or you meet people and turns out to be a social.
In 2 days and a Sunday rainout, the Strawberry Festival's children's area sold 92,000 tickets at 50 cents apiece, bringing in around $46,000. Long said the festival's income is expected to be around $116,000, with expense accounting for $95,000 of it. What's left over is reinvested in the festival for next year.
We focused our advertising in the last couple of years on areas as far away as, Danville, Illinois, Chicago, Terre Haute, Indianapolis, Lafayette, trying to bring people into the community, because the community itself is pretty much well aware of Strawberry Festival. Those 3 days are on the calendar for just about everybody, but we've been trying to reach out to bring people into the community. So, hey, this is not a bad little town, and, maybe we'll consider moving here someday. So that's what we're trying to do right now, is besides just having a lot of great entertainment and fun and food for everybody.
Festivals bring opportunity for regional revitalization. Just 2 or 3 families moving could result in a significant economic bump for towns and counties, as well as building both a town culture and momentum others want to take part in. The state has used legislation and state dollars, such as the Regional Economic Acceleration and Development Initiative, or READY, to reignite rural Indiana and smaller metropolitan areas to build its infrastructure and quality of life. Local officials want their product to entice visitors to stick around, book a room in the future, and maybe plan to move. Festivals fall in line in what state officials hit on as quality of place, meaning attractions, amenities, and attributes specific to an area that locals enjoy. Festivals have an economic impact that people may not realize is generated, Long said. Hotels and campgrounds receive extra bookings, not-for-profits make some extra cash, and local businesses see new faces. The whole idea is to get people in the county limits to showcase what the area has to offer.
And we've noticed that several of our smaller communities around have started their own little festivals, which are not, huge money makers, but it's getting people into their areas. And anytime you can get people into an area that's not been there before, it's a win-win situation for everybody, because this is part of making a city user-friendly. And this is going to attract people in possibly who may consider moving to an area, or you get people in looking for jobs. They want to know what your community has to offer. Festivals are just part of that puzzle. We've got trails. We've got the Ironman Raceway out here. We've got several wedding venues in town. And anytime you can introduce people to what you have, it's a win-win situation.
They want to make people feel a part of the community they live in and build a culture. Newbies may really like what they see and want to stay, Yakeley said.
From my standpoint of my job, not as a festival committee person, but as with the Convention and Visitors Bureau, I'm also trying to increase overnights, right, in our hotels. So we're hoping this product helps add to that too. With last year being the first year, and even this year, it'll probably take a good 3 years before we can really see if that trend is happening. But that's kind of my goal in that as well. We want to create a product that not only brings our local residents in and our neighbors from the surrounding counties, but we want folks to travel, come spend the night with us and enjoy this event as well.
Though still young, the Popcorn Festival is a blooming highlight of the town of 3,000. It can serve as an invitation to the town, bringing people in off the interstate to check out the festival and stay for the caves, trails, nightlife, and the arts. The goal of the festival is primarily for people to have fun, Yakeley said, but it shows how such events can be so important economically as well.
So that's kind of what we're looking at. We want people to just come down, have fun, enjoy the charm of Harrison County, and kind of learn a little bit about popcorn and why it's so important to us economically as well.
To read more about Indiana's festival's impact on local economies, head to InsideIndianaBusiness.com. I'm Cate Charron for Inside Indiana Business, Radio on Demand.